maybe our entire formula for well-being is inaccurate. And this is an important point because a lot of the environmental discourse is about the sacrifices we're going to have to make in order to have sustainability. And I like to ask, what is it that we want to sustain?
But when you ask that question, what is it that I most deeply and profoundly love? Eventually, you describe essentially what is sacred to you.
I'm an African man, obviously from my accent you can tell, who comes from a part of the world that has always understood the word sustainability as creating an ecosystem in which everybody, everything, every animal, every little species is in equilibrium, that they're balanced and that they consume just enough to keep sustainable, but not to overconsume.
This disruptive reality that we live in gives us the opportunity to do things that were thought impossible in the past, totally impossible.
Every dialogue you have, every mind, every thought that goes through your head every day, even if it is, I usually say, even if it is boxes you put into a shelf, you matter, you are important, and sometimes we keep forgetting that.
The disconnect that we experience from our environment comes from us not being connected to ourselves and our hearts and who we really are. So I think that kind of tending to the inner garden and really loving yourself, I think is like one half of the work, and I think the other half is then expanding that.
In the short term, we have to recycle. In the medium term, we have to make those objects from recycled materials, and in the long term, we have to solve the root cause, which is our dependence on and love. I'd say really not dependence, love of disposability. And we need to supplement that with something we love more that doesn't depend on disposability. And we have to love it more. We can't do it from sacrifice because people are selfish actors and they're not going to sacrifice. It will have to be through something that's better.
What we grow to love in our younger years, we will later care for in our older years.
It's people like us who look at these real world situations, who want to fix poverty, who want to fix climate change. It's people like us that have to work with the technologists to help them apply that technology to solve the world's problems. We can do this right now.
How can we create these better business practices we need?
Oh, easy question, easy to answer. It's not easy, but the fact that frustrates me is actually we know how to do it. And there's plenty of examples of doing it. So the question is, why aren't we scaling it up?
Create a culture at your organization or business that your employees want to be a part of, and that gets them excited to come to work every day, that gets them motivated behind that mission.
Every person in the world matters all the time.
If there isn't money running around in the system, people are going to keep cutting trees. I don't care how cheap you make the electricity. If you don't have the liquidity sorted out, people will continue to cut trees.
Stop, take stock, evaluate, become more conscious of the things that you might be doing without really thinking about them. And then, with that awareness, act. And you can think globally, but you can act locally. So that is about being more conscious about the way that you're living in the world, and then being the change, being that example. Be the change that you want to see in the world. It's a classic statement, but it actually has probably the most resonance that any individual human being can live.